Whether you're a mom or not, I feel like you probably need this recipe in your life right now.
We could all use the chocolate cinnamon bun right now.
What's up guys, it's Kat and Deb from Two Market Girls. Welcome back to another vegan recipe. Like we've been doing lately, we are in separate kitchens because we are physical distancing, but that has not stopped us from making something super delicious today, right Kat?
Yeah, it's Mother's Day weekend, and obviously it's kind of weird because like you can't be with your family necessarily unless you live with them already. So we created something that like either you can send the recipe and all that kind of stuff or whatever it is to your mom, but something that moms will love. So we made chocolate cinnamon buns, and I think we made cinnamon buns, the original cinnamon buns we made, I think were for Mother's Day as well.
Oh yeah, we're just like assuming that moms want baked goods, right?
Yeah, like a fresh cinnamon bun in the morning, there's like nothing better, you know?
So good. I've got a coffee ready here to try it, so I think we should just
get into the recipe.
We should go make the recipe, but we should make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future recipes every Sunday and whatever Wednesdays, every other Wednesday. All right.
Make the recipe.
Now,
to make your vegan chocolate cinnamon rolls, we're first going to start off by making our dough. So for the dough, we want to heat a little bit of non-dairy milk until it's just warm to the touch. It should be between 40 and 50 degrees Celsius. To the warmed milk, we're gonna add some quick rise yeast and some white sugar and whisk that until the sugar is nice and dissolved. We're gonna set that aside for about 5 to 10 minutes, and it should start to foam or bubble a little bit. If it doesn't foam or bubble, that could mean your yeast is expired or your milk was too warm and it killed the yeast. If that's the case, you're going to want to restart with either new yeast or slightly lower temperature milk. So next up, we're going to add some butter to a stand mixer along with a flax egg and beat that until the butter has softened and the two have incorporated together. Then we're going to add in some all-purpose flour, salt, and the yeast mixture to the stand mixer, and using our dough hook, we're going to beat until the dough just comes together. It may be a little crumbly, it kind of depends on the flour you use, but it also may be a little sticky. If it's crumbly, that's totally okay. It'll come together in the end, but if it's a little stickier, to the point where it's gonna be hard to kind of work with, you wanna add just a little bit more flour to that just to adjust it so that you get a nice dough that's not gonna stick to your hands too much. Once it just comes together, we're going to turn that dough onto a clean floured surface and knead that until it comes together into a smooth dough. It should take about 5 or so minutes to knead. Then once that's nice and smooth, we are going to lightly grease a big bowl. You can use your mixer bowl if you'd like, and then add the dough into that greased bowl and place some clear wrap over top. And then we're going to stick that in a dark, warm place in order to proof. The first proof should take about 60 minutes or so. If you're finding your apartment or your home is a little bit too cold, some ovens have a proofing setting so you can turn that on, or you can also alternatively just put the dough to proof in your oven, make sure the oven is off, and turn your oven light on because the heat from the oven light will help proof that yeast a little bit. Once the dough has doubled in size, you want to place it on a lightly floured surface and make sure you are flouring the rolling pin and the top of the dough as well. Then you're going to roll that out into a long rectangle about 1/4 inch thick. If you have like a bench scraper or a pastry scraper, you can use that to help keep it in a rectangle formation and not a round formation so that you don't waste too much of your dough. Once you get that nice and rolled out, you're going to make your filling by combining some vegan butter with some cacao powder and just kind of beat that together and until it's nice and smooth and the butter has softened to the point of it being spreadable. Then we're going to spread that chocolatey butter evenly across the rolled out dough. We're going to sprinkle with some brown sugar and some cinnamon and then start to tightly roll that dough into a pinwheel starting from the long side. Using a sharp knife or a piece of unflavored dental floss or some kitchen string, you're going to cut your cinnamon rolls out. String is really helpful because it kind of keeps it from collapsing onto itself, which some knives can do. I just used a sharp knife. You want your cinnamon rolls to be about 1 inch thick. Next up, we're going to place our cinnamon rolls in our baking dish. Depending on the baking dish that you use, you may need to lightly butter the bottom of your pan to avoid any sticking, but if your pan is non-stick or glass, you should be okay. You should get about 6 good-sized cinnamon rolls out of this. So you can either use a pie plate or a 9x9 baking dish. Once they are evenly spaced apart in your baking dish, you want to cover with the clear wrap again and a kitchen towel and basically place that back in that warm spot that you proofed it the first time for about 30 minutes. Again, you want it to about double in size again. Once your cinnamon rolls have been proofed and they're ready for the oven, we're going to preheat our oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And once that reaches temp, we're going to place those rolls in the oven and bake them for about 27 to 30 minutes. They should be nice and golden brown on the outside. While those are baking, we can make our chocolate glaze by combining icing sugar with cacao powder and some non-dairy milk until you get the perfect icing consistency. If you want it to be more of a glaze, you can thin it out with a little additional non-dairy milk in order to make it a glaze to go over everything. Once the rolls have finished baking and we've removed them from the oven, allow them to cool for about 5 minutes just before icing. You still want those rolls to be nice and warm when you ice them so that the ice goes over the side and melts nicely. And then I suggest serving these while warm because they are delicious warm. I'm so excited to eat this.
It smells so good. So like last time when we made the recipe apart, Kat filmed on her own and then sent me the recipe and then I made it all on my own. So these recipes are really getting tested now.
They really are. Ooh.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I love cinnamon rolls
Me
so
too.
much.
They're honestly the best baked goods.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for like a special occasion brunch or something like that. So good.
This is like the perfect amount of chocolate. You still get the hint of cinnamon. It's not too overwhelming.
And they're super, I literally just ripped out the center and just started eating the center. They're super gooey in the center. It's so good.
Whether you're a mom or not, I feel like you probably need this recipe in your life right now.
We could all use the chocolate cinnamon bun right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Devin, was it easy to make?
It was pretty easy. I'm like super intimidated by yeast and accidentally killing it, but things went okay. Everything was fine. So if I can make these, anybody can make these. It's been Devin tested.
Devin tested, Devin approved.
Yeah.
I literally just like ate this entire cinnamon bun right now.
Yeah, I don't want to talk. I just want to eat.
Disclaimer about this video though. The amounts that like are in the recipe, written recipe, versus how much you see in the video might seem different because I did a double batch for the video because other people wanted it. So.
Okay, what should we talk about in the comments?
How's everyone celebrating Mother's Day from a distance?
Yeah. Are there creative ways that you're still connecting with your moms and celebrating together?
Because today is Mother's Day, right? So maybe everyone's doing like a virtual brunch because that could be fun.
Yeah. All right, that's going to be it for this recipe. As usual, it will be linked in the description box below. There's also a link to our podcast. It's called Camera Eats First. It comes out every Monday. We are still doing it throughout this physical distancing. We used to cover a lot of vegan news, but now since there's, well, just like one piece of news, we're kind of just keeping each other up to date on how we're feeling and talking about surviving this new kind of life we're living. So yeah, that's available everywhere you get podcasts. Go check it out. There's also a link to our Patreon account. Our patrons are some wonderful people that help support the work that we do, and in exchange, we give them some bonus content, like they got this recipe yesterday, or they get a mukbang once a month. If you're able to support us, we really appreciate it, and if not, give this video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and share it with somebody who might want to make it. It's also kind of weird, like I have no idea what life is going to be like by the time this video comes out.
I know. I mean, there's no way we're not going to
about.
be social distancing still, so.
I really hope not. If things have changed, then that's great. Let's celebrate that in the comments.
Yeah, if we're no longer social distancing, let's celebrate.
Yeah, and if things haven't changed, at least we have
cinnamon rolls.
Cinnamon bun.
Devin, did our call, like, Oh no. Oh no. Our connection's unstable, Touch. It's unstable.
Man, she's really frozen. Cat, where'd you go?
Unstable. I don't know if I should just.
You're moving in slow motion.
To the camera. Zoom just exited. What the heck, Zoom?
Cat.
Technical difficulties.
Wait, what?
Oh, you're back. Hi.
What happened?
I don't know what happened.
I don't know either. All of a sudden you were like, I have my dinosaur. You have.
I feel like we just made a bunch of bloopers is what happened. What?
Sorry, I just looked behind the camera and Bosco's on the dining room table right now. Bosco, you're not supposed to do that.
Oh my god, the butter came flying out. I didn't even notice. Oh, that's annoying. Devin's gonna have fun seeing the butter fly out.